raise your hand if any of you guys have ever lied in your lives. Everyone needs to raise their hand, or else you guys are all lying. So you guys all right, so the main reason why people lie, well, for me, when I have to lie, I feel like I feel like invaded privacy, so I don't want to tell the truth, right? I think that's like the main reason why people lie, because they don't want to tell people what's going on and stuff. So what we're talking about here is privacy, and my name is Emily Chen. I'm a junior at Fremont High School.
And I'm Angela, and I'm a sophomore at Lynbrook. So we surveyed the survey that we took. We asked them whether or not they had lied to their parents about internet usage, and 60% of teens said they had, while only 40% said they hadn't. So Emily, why do you think teens lie to parents?
Okay, so from the survey that we took, a lot of teens said they lied to their parents mainly because they said they're doing their homework, but they're really not. So, for example, my mom will be like, "Oh, you need to use the computer?" And I'll be like, "Oh yeah, I need to type that essay. I need to get information for my test tomorrow." But then most of the time, I'm just going to be on Facebook and Tumblr and get sidetracked. So I have to lie to her about doing homework when I'm actually not doing homework.
And another reason is that some parents don't approve of their children having a Facebook or a blog, and so they have to lie and say that they don't have these things when they're just really keeping it from their parents.
So from the survey we took, someone said, "I would hide my life on the internet from them because the internet is where I can show my true self without being judged by others. If my parents could see everything that I do on the internet, about 50% of that would not be on there. I have a personal blog that I do not show many of my friends because of privacy issues." So what this shows is teenagers feel like if their parents could see everything that they're doing, they wouldn't even put half things in there because they don't want their parents to see that. So it's also because it says, "I have a personal blog, I don't even show my friends." It's not really a thing between your teen and your parents about privacy issue. It can be about the teen's privacy issue for themselves. Sometimes they don't even feel comfortable showing their friends, whereas also for their parents. So what would you hide from your parents?
So in the survey that we took, a lot of teens said that they wouldn't want to share pictures with their parents because a lot of pictures, like, they would show them being at places they shouldn't be. Like, they told their parents that they were going to go study, but then they ended up going to their friend's house instead, so they didn't want to show their parents that they've been lying to them, obviously. Another thing that they said they wanted to hide was their blog, because a blog, a lot of people use it as like a personal journal or a diary, so they didn't want their parents to read all their thoughts. And another thing is conversations, because sometimes like their parents don't approve of who their children are talking to or the kind of language that they're using, so they would want to hide these conversations from their parents. And lastly, they said that they would want to hide a significant other because like sometimes their parents don't approve of having a boyfriend or girlfriend, so then they wanted to hide that.
Okay, so some things that from the survey we took, the teens said that they would want to share academic things like their school loot. Maybe they want to share with their parents homework and things they're doing involved with school and academics. Another thing is music taste. Like I know if I hear a really good song, I'll be like, "Oh wow, do you like this song? Like come listen to it, right?" I want to share that with my mom. Things they would approve of. That's what one of the people said in the survey that we took, and they want to share that I'm not doing anything wrong. So yeah, and then also some teenagers said they want to share with their parents their Facebook blogs and pictures. So that just depends on the teen and their parents and the relationship between parents and teens. So teens, are you friends with your parents on Facebook? So we took this survey and 50% of them said yes and 50% of them said no. So why would you be friends with your parents on Facebook?
So some of the people who said that they would be friends with their parents, they said that they had nothing to hide, so obviously they don't really care if their parents see like who they've been talking to in their pictures. And some of them also said that their parents forced them to accept their friend requests, so even though they might have not wanted to, they were forced to anyways. Another thing is that they said that they would tell their parents everything, so again, they didn't really have anything to hide. And lastly, because they said that they don't care.
So the ones who said, "No, I am not friends with my parents on Facebook," it's because I need my privacy and I don't want them to know everything I do. Like, you know, Facebook, you can see pictures, wall posts, conversations, anything you want. You can see everything, and they just don't feel comfortable with their parents knowing. So, like the second quote, I don't want my parents to see my pictures and conversations with my friends. So, I have a personal story about this. So, there's my mom. My mom made a Facebook about maybe 4 months ago, and she's like, oh, Emily, I make Facebook, be my friend, right? So I was like, oh, yeah, cool. Yeah, I'll be your friend on Facebook, because my mom, our relationship is pretty tight. So,
Get it?
so yeah, I accepted her friend request, and things are cool. She would, like, look at my pictures. She's like, oh, who's that person you're talking to? It's fine. I don't have anything to hide, right? But then she has this blog she goes on all the time, right? And one time I was just walking around the house, and I saw she was on the computer, and I saw all my Facebook pictures on her blog, and that kind of made me mad because I trusted her to have my Facebook as like a friend, and then she took all my pictures and put it on her website, and I felt like it was invading my privacy. I don't want everyone to see that. You know, I have friends on Facebook for certain reasons. I can deny and accept them to see my stuff. So after that, I got really mad, and I blocked my mom on Facebook. So now today we are still not friends on Facebook because she broke my trust. But yeah, that is why, and that's my story. So parents, what can you do? Well, you need to talk to your teen, okay? I feel like if my mom talked to me and communicated with me, everything would be fine. If she said, can I put this on? And I'll say yes, and it's fine. But it was a surprise to me, so communicating is really important, and you guys need to communicate. I think that would be a great idea. You know, even like set priorities with your teens, concerns and rules. Tell them like, oh, I don't want you to do this or that. Don't nag them about it, but it'd be good to sit down and talk to them about what you're concerned about.
And also parents should definitely respect their children's privacy. Like you shouldn't read their personal stuff. And this isn't just an issue with only with parents, but like if I had my journal lying on my bed and my parents walked in and read it, I would be upset. But I would also be upset if, say, my friend walked in and read it, because like those are my personal thoughts and I don't want anyone else to read them. So you should definitely respect privacy because everyone needs it.
So one of the quotes we got in the survey said, I hide the wild and funny parts of my life because I tend to keep a mellow and academic image whenever I'm with my parents. So what does this quote show? It shows that teenagers have two personalities. One when they're at school with their friends and they're wild and funny, but then when they're home with their parents, they're mellow and academic. So this kind of just shows that parents, do you really know your teen? Like, do you see them being wild and funny, or do you see them as being academic and quiet, right?
So what is the gap? The gap between parents and teens are that parents don't respect their teens' decisions and their privacy, and the teens in turn don't trust their parents with their issues. So this becomes sort of like a vicious cycle where parents don't trust teens and teens don't trust parents, and it just becomes like a really ugly situation.
So what is the bridge? Like I said earlier, communication is really important. And if you really want to get to know your teen and build a closer relationship with them, you need to communicate with your teen and understand each other. I know, like, my mom and I, we butt heads all the time. We disagree on almost everything, and sometimes we don't understand each other, but when we do, everything goes smoothly. And spend time with each other, because if you don't spend time with your teen, you don't even know who they are, right? You need to take them out. Like what Dee Dee said earlier, if you want to go on a hot air balloon or go to Napa Valley, right? Well, ask them like, oh, what do you want to do on the weekend? Oh, I want to go to the beach. Well, take them to the beach, you know? Just spend time with them and communicate with them, talk to them, get to know them.
So wrapping it up, privacy, the main thing you should take away is that privacy is a personal issue and you should definitely respect your teen's privacy.
Yes. And set priorities with your teen. If you don't like them being on the computer for so long, set up a rule. You can, like, for example, you can say, oh, if you finish your homework first, then you can spend the rest of the night on the computer. Or you can even set a time limit, like, oh, just spend an hour on the computer every day. You know. Also, the really important is respect each other and trust. So you can't expect to have trust if you don't give trust and respect, right? You need to respect your teen, and I think it's a good idea to just really come to them in a really sincere manner, not a nagging manner, a scolding manner, but try and respect them and trust them, and they'll return it back to you. You know, so trust is key.